The following content features adults acting like children. If you are uncomfortable with profane language, general cluelessness, or a fundamental misunderstanding of simple rules systems, please look away now. If, on the other hand, you want to watch four nerds have a good time, then you've come to the right place. Consider yourself warned.
Which some wizards actually do have negative strength.
I would have been unsurprised if he did.
All right, so
Put it over my wisdom.
Congratulations on hitting level 2. You should all feel very proud of yourselves for surviving Cragmaw Hideout. You're now.
It was rough.
Yep, the cave that you were just in is officially in the book called Cragmaw Hideout.
I gotta write that shit down.
You are now in Phandalin, and you wake up in a strange room that is actually the hotel room that you rented last night.
Honestly, every time I wake up in a hotel, it feels like that.
Yeah, it is. It's
like,
it's
wait, why am I in a different bed than normal?
Yeah, there's like that 2 seconds of like sleepy confusion.
Of like, I've been kidnapped, someone help.
Yeah. So you wake up, Thanar is in the room next to Sildar, and when he went up last night, he heard the sound of a chainsaw going through a redwood. Just... Sildar snores loudly.
Oh, okay.
And how would you like to proceed with the morning?
Fitz is gonna stay in bed till 12 p.m. No. I don't know.
So let us assume that you have all woken up at a reasonable hour, 8, 9 in the morning.
Okay.
Which is probably a little late for this time. Like most people around here would rise with the sun and go to bed at about the same as the sun went down. You know, it's a farming / mining community.
Is there anything sticking out of the wall in my room, like a torch, placeholder or something?
Sure. Like there is a little shelf over a small desk. When you came into the room, it looks like Toblin had sent someone up to light oil lamps in your room, and there was like a little oil lamp burning in the middle of your desk.
Dude, bro,
I guess on top of the shelf works. I want to take Clark's head and put it on top of the shelf.
Dude.
Just like on the highest point in the room so everyone can see it. Whenever they come in.
Is that thing like decaying at this point? Like,
not yet.
It is.
Is it gross?
Jesus.
You have been draining it on your way into town, so it doesn't have any juices.
I've done this before.
Rigor mortis has set in, and the jaw is open like he's snarling. Big mouth open, fangs showing. It is a ghastly sight, and anyone who saw it would be very confused and probably horrified. But yes, you can set it on a towel or a handkerchief or something on this shelf.
Good enough.
You should probably leave a note that you want it to stay there.
Do they have like no housekeeping signs? What's the equivalent of that?
Sure,
like a do not disturb sign?
Sure. They have a do not disturb sign.
Do they have turnover service?
Oh yeah, no, this is a full service inn that you're in.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
I'm gonna take the do not disturb sign and I'm just gonna put it right next to the head. Very, very explicitly.
Oh my god.
Hang it on one of the fangs.
Actually, yeah, that's what I'm gonna do.
Okay. So when you leave your room and you've pulled on sort of your shirt, I imagine you probably haven't put on your chain for the day. You just pull on your shirt and your pants, and you go downstairs, and we see the scene of you opening your door, and the camera just turns in such a way that it catches an image of Clark's head over your shoulder with the do not disturb sign hanging off of a fang. And then you step out, turn your back to the camera, and close the door, and then walk off as we zoom in on the door number, on the room number.
That works for me.
And then, unless there's any other shenanigans you want to get up to, the camera will cut to Thanar as he walks downstairs and follow him into the sort of common area where you guys ate last night and signed in. And you meet with Thanar and Fitz, who are already downstairs and dressed. Y'all didn't come down naked. Yeah, I know you're all disappointed.
Fitz might be that socially inept.
What? No.
Do you have like nice jammies, Fitz?
Oh, 100%.
Okay, good. I'd expect nothing.
Okay.
Yeah, I was going to talk about that, but I decided it was too stupid.
They're made of silk. What color are they?
They're blue with stars on them.
Oh
yes!
yeah, I totally imagine.
Yes,
he has he has a blue nightcap also, and it's like it has a little fuzzy ball at the top.
It's like a Santa cap for blue.
Yes.
Yeah, but hanging off this little ball, it's this yellow star that like arcs over to the side and just like hangs over the rest of the hat.
Oh, totally.
Dungeons and Dragons is the greatest game. This is the greatest game. Sildar is sitting over in a corner. He is looking at some paperwork, and when you come downstairs, he sees you and raises a steaming mug of something in your direction.
I'm gonna call out to the bartender that I'll have what he's having, and then go sit down with him.
Okay.
Day drinking, are we? I guess probably about like 20 minutes later, I'll come out of my room.
Okay. So
do whatever you want in that time.
What's your plan for the day, Sildar?
Well, after a good night's sleep, I feel a lot better. I'll probably head to the town hall and meet with Harbin Wester about getting my boots on the ground, as it were. Time to bring law to this town.
I think we might visit the Lion Shield Coster office. And what do you know about these Red Brand?
Well, I'm learning a lot myself. As soon as I get the title of sheriff, I'm planning on looking into it. I'm sure someone around here knows something.
Well, as soon as you know something about it, let us know. The innkeeper seemed a bit shifty about discussing it.
I can't say that I blame him. I mean, with someone being murdered by them within the week, I would probably be a little concerned my own self. But yes, it makes a fair amount of sense to report to the Coster as soon as you can. They're going to want those supplies before any other nasties move into that cave. Oh.
Order of the morning.
By the way, have you sent off word yet to the...
hold on a second. I got to get my order of operations in order here.
Have you sent any sort of correspondence off to the Hold, Helm's Hold, letting them know that you've arrived and that you'll be helping me for a while?
Not yet. I'll have Malpa get on that.
Oh, I'm not in the room.
Okay,
but...
so
it's too late. I've already condemned you because I'm the one doing the talking.
Any of you that have been a part of the Everwatch Rangers and specifically the Hold in general know that every party dispatched from the hold is given a correspondence pack. It's a small bundle that contains writing implements, ink, a very special green paper.
Do we get pigeons?
No pigeons, because the other
Damn.
item is a tube, also green, with a gold inlay at both ends, and then a green candle. And you know that if you write a letter using the ink and quill provided with this pack, and then you roll it up and stick it inside of the tube, and then light it on fire with this green candle, it will and be transmitted directly to whoever your priat is, whoever's in charge of your party.
Okay.
That's neat.
That's pretty neat, yeah.
You also know that Fitz is the one that has this kit.
Oh, okay. Well, I guess I would have said Fitz's name instead then, if I knew this information.
I mean, okay, so let me actually back up. Thanar has established that he doesn't have it, which makes sense. Maoba as a monk or Fitz as a wizard would both be more likely to be put in charge of this kit. Which one of you has it?
Do you want it, Puffer? Because I'll take it if you don't want it.
I'll totally take it.
Okay.
All right, so
It's cool as hell, my dude.
what this means
I feel
is
like you like having cool stuff.
Oh, 100%.
what this means is that Fitzgeralt Fizzlebang is in charge of any correspondence with the Everwatch Rangers head office.
Yeah, we kind of just make him do all the messages and stuff, but he's not really in charge of us.
All right, so you'll tell Sildar that you're going to have Fitz get on that, and he'll nod and say,
I also have to get a letter off to the Lord's Alliance. Our scouts have got to know where this castle is. You don't have a goblin castle in any part of the world without somebody knowing something about it.
Would the Lord's Alliance be willing to send us reinforcements to help help us with the castle if we find out where it is?
Well, it'll sort of depend on how big of an issue this is. I don't imagine so. It's probably just up to us. The Alliance will provide us with, well, you know how it is with large organizations, especially ones that are the way the Lord's Alliance is. I imagine that they'll be willing to send us supplies, information, access to their network, but as for reinforcements, it would probably have to be something a lot larger than a goblin castle and a kidnapped dwarf to get them officially involved.
Unfortunately.
Bureaucracy.
and he'll
Cheers to that.
he'll smile and clink glasses with you. What you have been delivered is you have your option on what you two are drinking. It is either a warmed cider or coffee.
Definitely coffee.
All right. You both are drinking coffee. Sildar's is black. Yours is...
Has honey in it.
Ooh, I've never tried that. Is it good?
It's all right.
Okay.
It's interesting.
Very nice. So you two are commiserating. Sildar has told you a little bit about his history before he essentially retired and moved out here to become the sheriff. He was part of the Griffin cavalry in Neverwinter. Was it Neverwinter or I've got to find this because it was either Neverwinter or Waterdeep.
I think you mentioned Waterdeep
Yes.
when talking
yes.
about Sildar.
Griffin Cavalry in Waterdeep. And he was sort of a town watch there. And he would go around and make sure that sort of the eyes in the sky. So you two are exchanging stories about idiot travelers trying to get away with stuff they shouldn't and all that stuff. When and Thanar and Fitz can join you whenever they'd like. And eventually,
Yeah, I'm gonna head down because I smell like the coffee and cider and stuff.
Yep. And as you're there, Trilena will bring you each a plate of you know what a full English breakfast looks like, right?
Yeah.
We're like talking big sausages split in half, and then like half of a tomato and eggs and I'm getting hungry just talking about it. And this is all very good. And you eat, and Sildar will go over this paperwork as he talks with you, and sort of he's signing things, and you quickly realize that what he's doing is he's signing the whatever contracts are necessary to take over as lawman in this town. Do you have any other questions for Sildar?
Not for me.
I mean, not really, due to the fact that he also just got here, so it's hard to ask him about the town when he also doesn't know the answer.
Okay. He'll have a little bit of information about the town just because
get
he's
the
studied
sense.
it and stuff, but
I'll come down about now.
okay. So everyone is about halfway through their breakfast when Fitz shows up. As an option, Puffer, you can in fact have forgotten to take off your nightcap.
Another time.
Okay. All right, so you all eat, and Sildar will finish his coffee and wait for you all to finish, and then he'll suggest that you make your way over to the Townmaster's Hall.
Can you say that again? Your mic clip.
Sorry, he will suggest, that you all go off to the Townmaster's Hall.
I'm okay with it.
Flame, in case you were wondering, yes, I can in fact do D&D shit posts.
I wasn't wondering. I understand you make shit posts all the time.
Yeah, I'm fine with going to the town hall.
All right, so you all
Sure.
rise and leave. You get down to the Townmaster's Hall, which, is nicely labeled. You're standing out in front, and he will look around. He's got his plate armor on now, and he's got his sword at his side and his knife at the other side, and he is cutting quite the figure of a knight. He is dressed up for this occasion and appears to not be limping as much as he was last night, but after you walk the whole way and having hung out with him for a little bit, you kind of realize that he's putting on a brave face. You can't have the new lawman look beat up, and he certainly doesn't. And he'll walk to the front door, and before he goes in, he will say he'll point across the street to the Coster and let you know that that's where the Lion Shield Coster is. If you want to go ahead and take care of that business.
Certainly.
Yep. And then
That's my vote.
he'll tell you that when you're done, come back.
My vote is to go to the manor.
I want to go
I
to
also considered
Lenine's
that.
house.
You want to go to Lineen's house?
No.
Yeah.
Okay.
No, just go to the
I'm just gonna
She'll be at
start
the
walking
Coster.
off towards the cost.
Okay.
Okay.
So you head off to the Coster.
While we're walking, I look to Malbon and I say, I'm sensing a theme here.
He doesn't really debate
Speak?
with us.
No,
He
I
kinda just goes.
yeah, that sounds about right.
All right. So you all go to the Coster, and Thanar and Malba go to the front door of the Coster, and Fitz just sort of wanders off around the corner like he's gonna go to Lineen's house. You can. I
I'm kind of.
I
just
don't
like.
see him, man.
I'm kind of just like peeking around, seeing what's going on.
Okay.
I'm just like looking around the town.
Okay. So you all are now roughly here, except for Puffer, who has gone around to Lineen's house. And you walk in, and the door, the bell over the door jingles, of course, and you hear, "Coming!" And you're sort of left there for a little bit to look around, and it's stocked with bits of furniture around, small crates with labels on the front saying that it's like pieces of furniture that you assemble in your own time. There's a couple of completed bits of furniture that you can purchase as well. You see a rack of weapons on the wall, actually. A little bit of armor, stuff like that, in racks.
I come back during this time.
Okay. As you guys are sort of poking around, you're hearing rattling in the back, and you'll hear a crash, and then a whoa, and then things start picking back up, and up on you hear more rattling. Fitz, you've gone around to Lineen's house and knocked on the door.
No, I said I come back around this time.
Oh, okay. So you've made an entire circuit. You've made an entire circuit around this building. Like you've gone from here to here to here, and then
totally
back over to here, and then back to the front door and in. You hear the ding, 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 ding stuff, all the things I described previously. It's about this point that a woman comes out of the back there. Let me see. Oh, there it is. I should have also mentioned, you see that the blue lion symbol that you saw on those boxes is sort of everywhere. It was outside. It's on flags hanging in the back corners of the building behind the counter. And you see a woman come out of the back, and she is mid-30s to early 40s. Let's just say, "How can I help you, gentlemen?"
We're looking for Lineen.
That would be me.
Oh, motherfucker! I should have broken in.
She looks at you and is like,
I did not say that.
I bet there was some mumbling.
"Yeah, no,
That was,
like,
was not a voice.
definitely
Not a voice.
definitely mumbling." And she looks at you and then back to the rest of the group.
I need to
Wow.
I need to differentiate my voice more somehow. I thought it was obvious.
How can I help you, gentlemen?
Well, on our way here, traveling along Tribor Trail, we were ambushed by some goblins.
That's
and
a common
during that
problem lately.
During that excursion, we found some Lion Shield Coster crates in a cave that we thought you'd be interested in.
You just found them in a cave?
Well,
It's a bit more complicated than that, but that's the gist of it.
And you just
I know.
in a cave? What? I suppose that makes sense, what with all the raiding lately. Well, can you tell me where they are?
you have a map?
And she'll go back around back.
Whoops.
And more rattling, another crash, and then she comes back with a map, and she'll roll it out. "Yes, right here." And she'll roll it out.
Well, mark where it is on the map. I assume I know, right?
Yes.
Okay,
Yeah.
yeah, then I'll mark it.
Well, that's most excellent. Wonderful. They would have my hide. You can't imagine how much that amount of supplies would be worth. We've missed 2 months, which hasn't been that bad, honestly. I'd rather have it in a cave somewhere than in the hands of these ruffians, but thank you very much. If that's Is there anything else I can do to help you? I have to put together a party to go get it now.
I look at Malba.
What? Why do you keep looking at me? Is that your default? Like, just let's look at my boss. He knows what to do.
Oh,
Literally haven't said a word yet to this person.
I know.
So, okay, you have to understand, you took the folk hero background, right? So your charisma in terms of like dealing with people and
Mine is horrible.
I know, but like I suck at talking to people. Like actually, I also didn't want to go here. I wanted to go to the manor, so I'm kind of being reluctant to speak right now.
You mean like every other place we've been? Have we done anything you wanted to do?
Oh shit!
Boy.
We need to start bullying Thanar so we can do what we want. Jesus Christ.
Yeah. Hey, let's do this, guys. No, I'm walking this way and you guys are going to follow because you guys are bitches.
Lightning is
That's
very
very
confused
bad.
as to why you're all arguing with each other in the middle of her shop. She'll clears her throat. Is that all? I need to get some cards.
Yes, that will be all. Thank you for
Actually, I want to say, on the topic, experienced any raiding here at this shop?
Thanar.
Is it our house?
No, it's a shop.
Well, they've certainly tried.
Oh.
Luckily, they can't get past. And she holds up like her arms in the flexing motion. I've held most of them off for a little while. I am a bit
How big is
accomplished
this
with-
lady?
Oh, this woman is taller than you.
Oh lord.
Probably a little bit wider. She looks like a female orc, but is human.
Wow.
This is a
Giant people into
This is a big woman, but you know, very very nice.
Fitz is like rubbing his neck from like looking up at everyone.
No, you're listen. Your neck muscles are very strong from having to look up at everyone.
God damn it.
Like those are the strongest muscles in your entire body.
Oh my god.
And she'll say, "Oh, they've certainly tried. We've got enough weapons here to interest them, but they broke."
I'm just gonna look her from head to toe and say I believe it.
Well, they've.
Fitz's eyes just go wide.
She'll laugh and return the glance. You are one of the stronger creatures that she has encountered in recent months. Luckily, well, I say luckily, but our lack of supplies with the raiding has certainly held them at bay. That's one of the bad things about you gentlemen finding this stuff. I once I get it, they're gonna want it even more.
You happen to know where they're located?
Honestly, no. They sort of come in from everywhere and then leave in every direction. I imagine they're nearby, but I can't say for sure.
Well, thank you very much.
Oh, not at all. I feel like I should offer you guys some sort of a reward for letting me know where this is. I tell you what, depending on what's all there when I get back, there'll be a reward waiting here for you. I appreciate all that you've done.
Well, I'll hold you to it.
He means to say, thank you very much.
We greatly appreciate it.
And she'll smile at Thanar and nod at the other two of you, and she will go under the counter and pull out a piece of paper and start writing.
I assume it's not for
Can
us.
I actually, if I'm going to make a report, can I get you gentlemen's names?
I'm Thanar.
Can you introduce us all like
Fizzlebang.
out of character? I feel like that would make it so much easier.
Sure. Thanar, this short man right here is Fitzgeralt. And this other one is and we're from the Everwatch Rangers.
I pipe up and Fitzgeralt, a Fizzlebang, madam.
Fitzgerald, Fizzlebang. Okay, and Thanar. Yes, Thanar. And then Mauba, you said?
Yes.
Indeed.
Excellent. Well, I will get this off immediately to my higher-ups, who will be very pleased to hear that I didn't actually lose these supplies. Get a lot of heat off of my neck.
Did she note Rangers as well?
Do what?
Did she note we were from the Everwatch Rangers?
Yes, no, she will take a full report sort of this whole thing. You get the feeling that the main office at Lion Shield Coster has been breathing down her neck for losing all of the supplies they keep sending her.
2 months?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, 2 months worth of supplies in a town that's just starting up, and their head office here. This is like Walmart not having stuff, you know?
Dude, I bet they just sit on the floor instead of in chairs.
Well, you know, the short stools at the Stonehill Inn were fine. Barthen's house was well appointed. You've not been in
What
a
about
lot
the
of...
Shrine of Luck?
Huh?
Do they have chairs at the Shrine of Luck?
Well, you've not been there. No, you did walk past, though. The Shrine of Luck is
They have
more of an
chairs?
outdoor sort of thing.
Ooh, so no chairs? Ooh, the chair business is struggling.
There are actually pews more. There's like
Oh,
2 rows...
foiled again.
2 rows of 3 pews for those who want to come and spend some time at the shrine. And now that she has mentioned that she's not had these supplies, you look around and notice that there are some empty spots on the shelves and all that. So if you're done here, you may continue on. If she gets everything out of the cave, you know that there will be a reward waiting here for you.
Sweet. Well, it's time for us to leave.
I can nod to her and mutter thanks and then walk out. I'm done.
As she
here.
looks up when the bell rings when Fitz walks out, I'm gonna look back at her and I'm gonna wink.
Fuck me.
Hope to see you all.
Dude, I don't want this shit.
Hope to see you all again.
No!
I don't like this anymore. Can I quit?
This is what you get when you don't talk.
Dude,
This is all your fault.
I didn't want to talk to her. What part of that
let
did
me
you
be
not
clear here.
understand?
This is better, but this is
All right.
worse.
This is fabulous. Even if I don't like it myself, this is fabulous.
All right, so you are all outside. Where are you going?
So,
mean,
now,
back
Bob,
to
where do
the
you want to
town.
go?
We're going back to the town hall because that's what.
Oh, good point. I forgot about that.
Yeah, we're kind of expected to be there. Still, Dar wants us there.
Yep.
Cool.
All right, so you go over to the townmaster's hall, and when you walk inside, you can see that there is immediately to your left, sort of a little alcove behind a desk where there is a young woman with glasses on her nose and her hair done up in a tight black bun, just sort of making notes and writing. Clearly a person of clerical means, and I mean that in the non-religious sense. She's taking notes and filing reports and such, and she will nod at you as you come in. In the back, you can see a large desk through a door. Excuse me. So there are benches here. There are probably like 4 benches in the middle of the room, and then back further in is a door which is open. And as you look inside, you see a large desk, nice carpet, big windows, and an overweight gentleman.
Does the desk have a chair?
Oh yeah, no, the desk definitely has a A chair that is, quite frankly, probably too large.
The chair is driving, I guess.
Well, I mean, when you move to a town, you have chairs, because where else are you going to sit?
The floor.
No, this is true. No, I guess you could.
It's bad for your back.
Yeah, this joke is dumb. I apologize.
So these are sturdy stone walls, pitched wooden roof. There's a bell tower up there as you walk in. You come inside, and there's a cork board on the back wall. No, not on the back wall. Sorry, the front wall across from the receptionist's desk. If you look at that, it's got some pieces of paper, some jobs, some hiring notices, things like that. And then one large piece of paper that says reward orcs near Wyvern Tor. And then that's like the largest piece of print. You can't read the rest of it from where you are. But as you look in, you see an overweight man sitting behind a desk. And he's a sort of a very large man with a very tiny mustache. And he's wearing clothes a bit finer than he should be for the position, because you can clearly tell that this is the town master, the mayor of the town, if you will. And you see Sildar is back there with him, leaning against his desk, and they're yelling at each other.
Oh, that's hot. So they're just like, what are they saying?
So you wait a second, and the pompous old man will say,
"It's not all my responsibility to maintain. There's no lawman in this town. It's not my responsibility to go around arresting people. What are you possibly talking about? This,
and Sildar will be,
the people of this town are in danger, and you have been doing nothing. Sildar, you were elected as the sheriff of this town, and not I. Now that you're here, you can certainly clean up these bandits who've done nothing more than be a minor nuisance."
It's sort of going back and forth this way. Sildar is accusing him of doing nothing, and this inflated balloon of a man is trying to defend himself ineffectually. And this will continue for as long as you stand there. Malba, you sort of catch the eye of the woman with the black bun who's doing paperwork, and she'll look at you and then roll her eyes.
Malba?
I'm confused. Okay, so I'm gonna walk over to that lady and be like, "Excuse me, is the town master available right now?"
He's just screaming in the background.
Yeah. She'll go,
"If you think that you can get anything useful out of him, I suppose."
Okay. I suppose I'll go.
She'll say, "This has been going on for," and she'll look very depressed, almost at a watch or a clock on the wall, and just say, 10 or 15 minutes now, and it's not gone anywhere.
Well, okay. I'll just walk. I'm gonna just walk over to, like, he's like has his little like own office cubicle like looking thing, right?
This is a whole room set aside.
Is this all just one room?
There are. You can see. This is a large room that you're in now. The low desk the low counter that this woman with the black hair is sitting behind is off to the right and is sort of a squared off corner. There's the cork board on your left as you walk in. There are 4 benches and then a back wall. There's then a door in the middle of the wall into the room where the townmaster and Sildar are yelling.
Okay, is the door open?
The door is open.
Well,
Okay, so
while
I'm gonna-
Awa was talking to that lady, I'm more interested in looking at the corkboard.
Okay.
I'm gonna follow
What's on
wherever
that?
Malba goes.
Uh,
I just want to take a brief look at
okay,
it.
so while you're talking, Thanar walks over. You see requests for help with weeding. You see a notice from the Alderleaf farm that they're looking for farm hands, people to help take care of animals and the like. You see the Ettermath Orchard is looking for people to help pick apples coming up in the next harvest. You see the sign asking for help and offering a reward for the orcs near Wyvern Tor says, those of a mind to face the orc menace should inquire within. And it is signed Harbin Wester Townmaster.
Okay, cool. That's good with me. I'll go follow Malba now.
Okay, so I'm gonna walk up to the door and like casually knock on it and see if they even heard my knocking through their screaming.
Okay. Something else that you should notice, Malba, Thanar, Fitz, you all see that there's also another door out of this room off to the left. So once you go about halfway in, you see the door, and it is currently closed. But on the front of this door, it says Sheriff.
Okay.
And then you make it into the back, and the yelling stops. And Harbin looks at you. Harbin, who is very clearly the townmaster, the man behind the desk, looks at you and says, "Yes, what can I do for you?"
So I overheard you guys a little bit.
Sildar
It fits like snorts.
Sildar also snorts.
And I was wondering if we could help solve this argument.
An
'Cause,
argument that you were listening into without permission, but certainly. What do you think that you can do to help?
Fitz crosses his arms and glares.
I mean, I think you two should just forget the past and start working together for the future, because it doesn't matter what happened in the past. You can't fix that.
No, Bob, what are you doing?
Sildar looks at you and raises an eyebrow, because this is the first time that you've essentially ever said anything like
Oh my God.
controversial. Like this is a moment of you suggesting something specifically, and he's sort of impressed by this. Harbin, on the other hand, says,
How dare you, sir? They put the past behind us. The past is this gentleman who wishes to take over as the sheriff of this town was absent without leave.
Is it time to name drop?
It's because of his...
"Oh, actually, yeah. Hey, that would be most interesting. Handle with care."
I'm gonna let this progress a minute.
If Sildar had been available at the moment, at this time, perhaps this mercenary band would not be here.
And Sildar,
Mercenary band? These are thugs, Harbin. Thugs who are trying to take over your town right under your nose. Sildar, this is not my business at all. My business is in running this town. Exactly. So when an outside
Our
force
business
moves in and tries to take it out from under you,
Mr. Wester, all due respect, but isn't your business to the people of the town, not to the town itself?
and who are you, sir?
It's papers, right? It's like, what is it? I've read something that it's like some fancy papers, or like,
okay, so
can I just say my name?
Your papers are proof of who you are. Your name,
Okay.
Your name holds the weight.
How
Okay, I
well known
wasn't
is he?
sure.
Is he like Is he like well known as Lion Shield Coster?
Okay, so
Shipping.
I'm more known than I should. I want to say at least.
Fitzgeralt Fizzlebang is not known.
Yeah. Name is what I'm wondering. The shipping company.
Fizzlebang Freight holds weight.
Cool.
See what I did there?
Oh,
See it?
none other
So-
than Fitzgerald Fizzlebang at your service, sir.
Fitzgerald Fizzlebang. Fizzlebang?
Fizzlebang.
Of the shipping company.
The shipping company, yes.
I see. Well, sir, it is most.
He stands up.
Most it's an honor, sir, to speak with you today. I welcome you to our fair burg, which has no problems whatsoever, and is.
I extend my hand in like a shaking way, except I don't lift it up at all. I'm gonna make him bend for it.
He will walk around his desk, waddle around his desk, and bend at the waist and grasp your hand and say,
It's a most pleasure to have you here, sir, in our fair city of Fandolin. Would you care for a tour of the city? I can show you to some of our finer...
No, that's not
Finer,
necessary.
are you certainly? I would hate to have you
So-
here alone.
So I just have a quick question.
No, you're so-
What is this mercenary band, as you say?
The red brands, sir. They are troublemakers, you know, the type, the kind who would draw on sides of buildings, naughty words. and the like.
I'm sure. I am sure.
Yes, generally speaking.
Now, what are you going to stop the drawing of the buildings, as you say?
As I was saying, Sildar here, being the new sheriff in town, it will fall to him to chase down these minor ruffians and see that they are brought to justice.
Well, I guess my matters with Sildar then. Sildar, what would you like to do?
I have very specifically... It is my plan to deputize you three to help me track down the red brands and see that they are all brought to justice, specifically for the murder of...
Hold on while I look at my notes.
Specifically for the murder of Thel Dendrar and the kidnapping of his family.
Murder and a kidnapping? Oh my, that sounds much more serious than a building crime. What would you like to do? Do you agree to this plan, Mr. Wester?
This is an assumed murder and an assumed kidnapping, quite frankly, for all we know. They've gone to the next town over to visit family. There's no proof.
Nothing a little investigation can do, right? It won't hurt at
I
all.
certainly support Sildar's investigation to the forest. I can't say that it would be a gross misappropriation of my own ability here in town to not support this fine gentleman's business. I'm sure that if he would like to deputize gentlemen such as yourself, that is perhaps inappropriate of Sildar to deputize a gentleman, but I could certainly support his efforts.
Maybe Fizzlebang will support your efforts then.
No, sir, I can't. It's not. There's no need for this. I am certainly fine. Fandolin so is recognizes and is more than willing to work with Fizzlebang Freight in all of its endeavors, and perhaps even set up a.
As a representative of Fizzlebang Freight, I implore for this investigation to proceed. We wouldn't want to deliver anything into the wrong hands. Now,
Oh, no, of course not. I certainly understand. You must make the town safe for all of your endeavors, your fine family's endeavors in the future. I'm sure that we can. Sildar, right to it then. Let's get this investigation underway. What's taking you so long?
I agree. Thank you very much for your time, Mr. Wester.
Certainly, yes. I'm always here to help out a fine, upstanding citizen such as yourself. If there's any other way that I can make your stay here in Fandolin a bit more comfortable or acceptable, just let me know immediately, sir.
Thank you very much.
Sildar, who has been yelling at this man for 10, 15 minutes now, has leaned against his desk. His hands are crossed. His eyes are wide. And he's just watching this go. And the longer it goes on, the more his head just sort of tilts to the side. Just like it tilts another degree every second.
Is it horizontal yet?
It's getting very close. Dangerously close to horizontal now. And Wester will turn to Sildar and say,
Yes, Sildar, your offices are right this way.
and he'll walk over and usher all of you in a grand way as he waddles, but he's sort of doing his best to march, and he looks a bit like the Penguin, but that's how he's dressed, and he's got this sort of white with gold printing vest on, and he sort of hooks his fingers into his vest as he walks, and he's marching his way over as his little coattails flap.
It's just right this way. We've remodeled recently, and
He'll point at the ceiling and all this.
We've been trying to make the townmaster's hall as pleasant as possible for any fun, like yourself, sir.
And he points to Fitz.
Yes, there's gentlemen like yourself who wish to invest in a growing town, make it as comfortable for them as possible.
And he reaches into his coat pocket and pulls out a set of keys.
And the sheriff's office, of course, is here and well maintained. There's cells and such.
And he opens the door, and it's dusty. This has not been used for months.
He's like, what? I'm certain that we are supposed to have this place dusted and cleaned. And Sarah, have you not been dusting this room?
I'm sure it's not Sildar's fault. You can get someone on that, right?
No, certainly. Sarah, at a late.
And
is there anyone else?
No, it's Sarah, who is the receptionist that you saw earlier, will look up at him, just like completely unmoved, eyes sort of half closed. It's a, yes, sir.
Yes, Sarah, if you could bring a cloth in here and dust this place down a little bit for our...
I think, well, this is your...
I missed that. I'm sorry. This is your
building, isn't it?
I have, yeah, well, I suppose it's the city of Fandolin's building, if we get right down to it.
And it's your city, is it not?
I share the city with my fellow townsfolk. It falls to me to handle paperwork and decisions on certain issues.
Well, we were talking to Sarah, and she has some very important secretarial duties to attend to.
Does she?
Yeah, no. Oh, you don't need to worry about it. It's very beneficial to you. I think it might be, and you best in so Sarah can move things along. If you clean this, well, Sildar and I get started on the investigation.
Yes, certainly. Sarah, where did we keep those supplies?
And he'll wander off to go talk to Sarah. Leaving the four of you outside of the door, and Sildar will just like readjust his head and look down.
So
look down at Fitz.
What in the nine realms was that?
I look at him and raise my eyebrows, and I say, "Oh, would you like to find somewhere else to talk?"
I right this way, sir.
And he'll lead you into the office, the sheriff's office that has just been unlocked for you.
Okay.
When you walk inside, you see that it is very simple but effective. There's a weapons rack against the far wall in sort of this little alcove. And then there's a row of cells. There's like 4 cells here that are each separated. They've got a bench, which also serves for sleeping quarters. They've got a sink, and then that's about it. Like there's a barred window outside, looking to the outside there as well. In the middle of the room, against the wall, looking towards the cell, is a large-ish desk. It's about half the size of Harbin Wester's, and it has a straight but low-backed office chair there, made of wood. And Sildar will walk around behind it and run his gauntleted finger. Well, no, he wouldn't have his gauntlets on. He'll run his finger across the desk and bring up like way too much dust. And he'll pull back the chair and reach into the desk with the key that he now has. He unlocks the desk and then reaches into the top drawer and pulls out a small shield, which reads, Sheriff Fandolin. And he'll look at it and then stick it on an armband or something on his armor.
Well, I guess it's official now. That was.
Congratulations.
I appreciate that. Thank you. That,
Of course.
Mr. Fizzlebang, was quite the show.
Please, just Fitz.
Fitz, one way or the other, that was quite the show. I didn't know you had it in you.
I'm not sure whether to take that as a compliment or what, but Fitz goes,
I feel like that'd be a
thanks.
compliment.
Well, now that we've sort of gotten everything squared away in terms of who runs this town now,
He'll smile at Fitz again and he'll say,
we should probably get down to the matter of the red brands. Are you 3 willing to become essentially my deputies and help me clean up this town?
Can you repeat that? You cut
Sorry.
out.
Yeah, was that a question or statement?
it was a question.
tell.
He asked whether or not you 3 were still willing to become his deputies and help him clean up the town.
I'm definitely up for it.
Yeah, we need
Count
something
me
to
in.
do.
Cool.
Fitz, just
be an
make
honor.
sure you let the Rangers know what we're doing.
Oh, sir.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. So he will actually ask if he'll sit down and in the chair and just sort of take his arm and brush all of the dust off of the desk in front of him. And when he does, it's sort of, have you ever used a photo editing tool and then turned up the contrast on an image?
Fuck.
And it's just like, all of a sudden, all of the colors pop a lot more. Yeah, it's like that. It's like he just used the contrast control tool and just turns everything up as he moves dust off. And he reaches into his pack and pulls out sort of a writing set and starts writing a letter off to the Lord's Alliance. And he will suggest that, like he said earlier at breakfast, one of you write to the Rangers as well.
Okay. Quick question: who was murdered, by the way?
That would be Thel, Thel, Dendrar, Dendrar. And as you're sitting there, Sarah, the black-haired woman with the glasses who was sitting behind the desk, will enter with a box that is probably 3 feet wide by a foot. Let's change those dimensions. It'll be a foot wide by 3 feet long and about a foot tall, and it's just sort of full of paperwork. And she will bring it and set it on the floor next to Sildar's desk, and stand back up, adjust her glasses, turn, and walk out. If any of you want to look at it, Sildar will motion to it and offer to let you help yourselves.
I'll take a look at it.
Can I do the wizard thing where I like make all the pages float and then I read them all really fast? Is this that thing?
It is, but you don't have it, but I'll let you do it because it's funny.
I don't want to do it yet. Well, Malbach can look at it first.
Okay, so Malba, the first docket, if you will, the first file is a report on the murder. And you learn that his name was Thel Dendrar. You learn that... actually, hold on, let me see this. Carver.
I have a question after this.
Okay. You find that, according to reports, because people actually saw this happen, a group of red brands were leering at Thel's wife, made unfortunate comments to her, and Thel stood up to them and beat at least 2 of them fairly significantly, and they ran off, yelling that they'd be back. That same night, which, as you know at this point, was 2 nights ago, someone who lives nearby heard a scream, and then that scream stopped, and they were missing the next day. You know that Thel was a woodworker, and where you see the woodworker cottage there on the map is actually where he lived. The next morning, where his wife was supposed to be heading off to do some odd job around the town, and I think it's 2 kids now that I think about it. Hold on, I gotta find this thing here. Okay. Yep. So, Myrna is the wife's name, Mirna. Myrna Dendrar. And her 2 teenage children, 13-year-old Nars Dendrar, male, Nars, and 18-year-old Nilsa Dendrar, female. And they have gone missing. Thel was left in the house, dead, in a pool of his own blood. He'd been stabbed.
Oh, sick.
Several times. And you read all of this, and you can report it to Sildar, who will nod as you do. Fitz, have you been writing?
Pardon?
Have you been writing your report to Helm's Hold?
Yeah, sure, because, I mean, we have downtime, and I needed to do that.
Sure. So, during this whole time...
I had a question.
Yes.
Before I forget, does my familiar disappear overnight, or do I still have him? I was going to ask at the start.
Yeah, as far as I know, you still have your familiar.
Oh, okay. I wouldn't have taken him in here, so he's just, like, outside door.
Sure. He's been swooping down and, like, either landing on your outstretched hand or on top of your head, or he may even ride on Thanar's shoulder every now and then. Like, just however, he's there, and he'll be there until he is destroyed. So, tell me, cool. Fitz, what you put in this report. And Thanar,
And
Thanar,
this
if
is
you would
the-
like to help him, you certainly can.
To the leader of our group, or
You will be writing a letter.
Overwatch Rangers, but
Yes, not obviously not to the head of the entire Helm's
it's
Hold,
just
but
like who sent us on this mission.
yes, your Priot,
Okay.
or who is the priest of Helm assigned
Okay.
to your group. Let me see if I can't. There's a lot in this. There it is. I have to actually find his name. His name is Priot Abriv Hadam.
Is he Islamic?
I told you his name when I started this. No, Islam does not exist in Faerûn.
Not yet.
Oh, stars, we're not doing this.
I'm just gonna. Do I have to say specifically what I'm gonna say, or can I just say the gist of it?
You can say the
I
gist.
want to
of it.
know specifically what you want to.
You can die.
You are required between this session and the next session to write an entire letter. No, I don't care. Just tell me roughly what you're going to tell them.
I want to
care,
tell
bro.
him that I haven't sent any other letters, right?
Remember sending them?
No, so I
Exactly.
didn't. I want to summarize that.
You know that what is normally supposed to happen, especially on jobs of this length, is that you leave, you write a letter when you get to the city where you're going to be accepting the job. You then go, so you wrote your first letter when you actually got to Neverwinter. You accept the job, finish the job, and then write a letter to them explaining how the job went, sort of a general report for their records. If this was, if you were on a longer job for the Rangers, you would be expected to essentially write one once a week or so.
I want to explain. I just want to summarize what happened in the cave and express concerns about the Goblin Castle.
Mhm.
And so, what's the normal procedure when you get back? Do you accept another mission, or is it you can kind of just do whatever?
So essentially,
I don't
as a member
get that.
of the Everwatch Rangers, when you return to Helm's Hold, you will sort of be split up as a group back into individual units, if you will. So you will each be another peg that they can put together with other groups later to go on new missions. Now that this mission is over, if you were to go back to Helm's Hold, you would be congratulated for a good job. And then they would let you go about your way until they needed you again.
Okay, I'm gonna say. I'm gonna summarize all of that, and then I'm gonna say. What do you guys think? Should we? It doesn't matter. I'm just gonna say we have unfinished business left to do in Phandalin.
What? Why don't you tell them about that business? Otherwise, they'll get mad at us.
Fine. I tell them what happened so they don't get mad at us. You
What
hear
do you
that?
tell? I think we should just make him actually write a letter at this point.
Yeah, like
If
I'm fine at the roleplay.
you're the one that wanted the cool device.
so,
because I wanted it.
at some point, as you're writing the detailed account, Sildar will look over and say,
Before you send that off, I have something I'd like for you to send to the hold as well. If you guys are going to be working for me, I suppose I ought to hire you.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, it only seems fair. You're not actually part of my organization at this point. You still have requirements left at the hold. So if I hire you on now, it'll be just another contract for you to fulfill.
Well, what do you want me to send?
and he'll say,
I'll hand you something. I'll hand you the letter when I'm done with this one.
Cool.
and he'll finish his letter to the Lord's Alliance, and he'll roll it up, and he'll shove it down in a blue tube that's a lot like yours, and he'll light a blue candle and then hold it to the end, and just in a burst of ash, it shoots out. You've seen when you light a not a Roman candle, and like the ball comes out. It's a lot like that, only the flame does not last nearly as long. It just sort of shoots out a puff of ash.
Yeah, I've also never lit on a Roman candle.
Really?
Yeah,
Believe it or not.
Huh.
Same.
maybe.
You've seen in cartoons, I'm sure, where
I can
someone will
imagine.
grab a tube and then they light it and then it'll shoot fireballs.
Oh,
Yeah,
yeah,
like that. It's a lot like that.
but it's just one.
Yeah, this just shoots one. So it's just like he'll light it and hold it into the center of the room away from the rest of you, and it'll just go, and it's gone. And then he'll pull out another piece of paper and start writing a letter.
Oh, so the stack of papers on his desk, can I look through them to see if there's anything about the Trezadar Manor?
Sure. I mean, you're going through these papers, and there's a couple of things of like, petty squabbles between people, property disputes, the kind of stuff that you would call the sheriff in Arn. It looks like Harbin Wester has sort of been ignoring them because it's, quote, not his division. And you don't find anything about Trezendar Manor. You get the idea that with as run down as it is, it might be a matter of town history instead of like something initial. You can certainly go out and talk to Sarah or Harbin if you think that would be of any use.
Okay.
Thanar, what are you doing?
Not sure. I'm mostly interested in not looking at any papers whatsoever.
Okay. I mean, you can be honing your axe or, whatever you think that you would be doing. I'm sure that as a city guard, you have had a lot of downtime in the past, and you would.
I'm gonna be asleep, leaning up against the wall, just standing up.
You can, if you'd like, open up one of the cells and just walk inside and fall asleep.
No, I'm just asleep, standing on the wall.
You know what? That's even better. Just like classic sleeping guard position.
You learn this on guard duty.
Yeah, like arms crossed, like one leg cocked back against the wall, your axe leaning against the wall next to you within easy reach, just in case. Okay. Fitz, you finish your letter, and you are waiting for Sildar to finish his. Malba, what are you doing?
I'm just gonna I'm just sifting through papers at this point.
Okay.
Not really anything.
Okay.
Worthwhile.
Again, if you want to find out about the manor, you can ask somebody, but there's nothing in there.
I don't really want to talk to either of those two people though, because they're not fun to talk to.
Yeah.
I'd rather just go to the manor myself and find out.
In fairness, you have only talked to Sarah about people yelling, and you already know about Harbin.
I did something nice for that bitch, and she didn't even say thank you, so she can go die.
Wait, what did you?
She doesn't necessarily know. She doesn't
Drop
necessarily
off
know.
papers without saying a word.
Yeah, no, she just walked in, dropped off the papers, like her job is
I'm not
to
talking
do.
to that bitch ever again.
Didn't even say like, "Oh, here's some papers." Nope.
No,
Wow.
I'm not. No, I passed my judgment.
I'm not a
already.
big fan of her attitude.
Not a fan of Sarah.
I was
First
asleep
time
when
I
she dropped
talked to
off
her,
the
she
papers,
just
so I
just
definitely don't
complained.
know.
No,
gonna
she
bitch about
may have
her
made some
later.
noise when she like set them down, and it may have startled you awake. It's like, "Rawr," you grab for your axe, like, "Rawr." And she backs up, it's like both hands up, it's like, whoa. And you go back to sleep. She's like, okay then, and leaves. Okay.
I still hate her.
You see a note about a red brand attack. Lots of stuff about the red brands. You see that the red brands defaced the Shrine of Luck, and it took a surprisingly long amount of time before Sister Garael's rebuilding of it. Almost like she just sort of wasn't around when it happened. You see a note about an attack on Ettermath Orchard. there was...
Is there anything miners exchange?
No, you don't see anything about the miners exchange in there. Actually you do. You see a note about a miner who was apparently the owner of the miners exchange, Halia Thornton, had to fight off some miner who was demanding more than was his share, according to her. And she broke his jaw and stabbed him in the leg.
Nice. Friendly.
The attack at the Ettermath Orchard was also fended off handily. You see that Darren Ettermath is the one who gave this report, and he said that he fended them off, stabbed a couple of them. He has with his spear, and they ran off.
Okay.
Sildar finishes his letter and hands it to Fitz. It essentially corroborates your story, and then asks to hire you as temporary deputies. Lets them know that he's already deputized you and asks to hire you specifically again as deputies of Phandalin for a period of time to allow you to help him find Gundren.
Okay. Wait, so are we just going to be staying in the inn as deputies?
If you ask him, he will tell you that as deputies of the town, there will be certain provisions available to you to offset the cost of staying in the inn.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so he's as official members now of the town. He will be able to allow you to pay you first of all, and then also to set you up with more permanent rooms in the inn.
What time of year is it, by the way?
Do what?
Like, how soon are harvests? What time of year is it?
Let me see. When is it? Probably early summer, late spring.
Okay.
Yeah. So, I'm also not a farmer. I know that most harvests are done in the fall.
Bro, you live in Oklahoma.
Yeah, that's all I was going off of as well.
Yeah. Oklahoma is cattle country.
It's basically Kansas.
I don't think of Oklahoma as like farms at all.
We do wheat.
Oh, that's farm.
We do
Like everywhere does wheat.
Yeah, well.
I just always think of
Foiled
Oklahoma
again.
as the one that looks like a cleaver.
I just don't think of Oklahoma.
Wow, Oklahoma hating here. Okay. So, Fitz, are you
Oklahoma, not Homa.
are you
Shut up.
okay? You're done with your letter. Sildar hands you his.
Yeah.
You roll them both up, and you have a green
Do we
to
see what Sildar wrote?
do what?
Will we know what Sildar wrote, or did he like hand it to us like? Hold on.
What Sildar handed to you was his letter to the Hold, and I explained what he put in it. Essentially, he's asking to hire your group again.
Oh yeah. Sorry, I
Right.
blanked on that part.
Right.
My
Okay.
bad.
And you roll both of these letters up, and you slide them down in the tube. Your tube is green with gold inlays around both ends, and you have a green candle that you light, and you light the back end of it, and your letters go off. This time there's two bursts. One of your letter, one of Sildar's.
I like that.
And as soon as they go off, there's like 30 seconds go by before Fitz, you feel the tube shake, and you hear a sound, and something lands in the tube.
That's so cool.
They write quickly.
You pull it out, and it's a little piece of paper folded into a square. It's about the size of a sticky note. You pull it out and you open it up, and it says, "Received by Priyat Adam." Received by Priyat Abriv Hadam.
Cool.
And you read it, and it fades away. Like the whole thing just sort of turns to dust in your hand.
Nice.
Well, now that that's over with, Maoba, what have you learned?
Well, shit. Sorry, I got distracted.
No worries.
Written most of that shit down, but I got lazy. What did I learn? We learned about the.
Okay, kids. So what did we learn today?
Sorry.
No. You.
Hey, Flame, yeah, you know how it feels to be fucking stupid.
Dude, I'm sorry. Like.
So you know about the attack on
I
Edermath?
can relate.
You know about the attack on Edermath Orchard that Darren
Yes.
Edermath turned away. You know about the defacing of the Shrine of Luck, which Sister Gariel repaired, but it took her a while to do it. You know about Halia's fighting off that miner, but nothing about the Red Brands bothering her.
Okay.
You know about what else did I say?
I mean, the specific details of like him getting the guy.
Yes,
had
and
a
the specific, the
argument.
more specific details about the murder.
Okay, I tell him all of that.
Okay,
So I don't. have-
He said.
and Sildar just puts his hands over his face and rubs his eyes. It's like,
This is a lot worse than I even expected. I tell you what,
If you want us to jump on any of these, just let us know. That's what we're here
almost
for.
certainly. I have a personal connection with Barthen and Sister Garael. I can go check with them to get a little bit more boots on the ground account of what's gone on. If you want to go talk to Darren Edermath, or I suppose I'll even Sister Garael first. I'm going to talk to Barthen, see if he can tell me anything about where they've seen the Red Brands or anything of that nature.
It was Darren. That was the first guy's name, right?
Darran.
Yeah. Okay, we'll go talk to Darren then.
I kind of hoping we could end off soon.
Yeah, I gotta
that's what
get
probably-
off.
Well,
Yeah.
we'll
Okay.
get your guys like next session planned, right?
Okay.
So you guys have said that you're going to go talk to Darren Edermath,
Yeah.
okay? And he'll say,
That sounds like a fine plan. Remember, gentlemen, you are representatives of me in this town now that you're wearing the badge of deputy sheriffs.
which he will then reach into the drawer and pull out 3 small circles with a star in the middle, and throw one to each of you.
I'm imagining it's like, hi, my name is Blank, and I'm your sheriff.
I was kind of hoping he only had one and had to break it into 3 pieces.
No, no, they would have multiple deputy sheriff's badges in case they needed to defend the town or something like that. So
Can only defend the town if you have this nice badge. If you don't have it, you can't fight.
okay then. So each of you now have a badge marking you as a deputy sheriff of Phandalin, which you can display on your person or keep in your pouches or whatever.
Definitely in my pouch.
Yeah.
Yeah, for now, me too.
Sildar will stand and say, "All right, boys, let's get to work." And you all walk out of the sheriff's office. And just as you leave, you see Harbin Wester approaching, wearing elbow-length leather gloves, and he's got a bucket of water and a cloth, and he has a handkerchief tied around his mouth and nose, and he appears to be and an apron on over his coat, and he's walking towards the sheriff's office. He's like,
Mr. Fizzlebang, I shall have this office sparkling clean by the time you return.
Oh, thank you very much. And if you need anything else, please just ask.
Oh, no, sir. You are more than welcome to ask me. It's my pleasure to have you in town.
and you hit the road.
Quickly, one last thing before we leave. I want to ask Sarah where Wyvern Pass is located.
Where the what now?
The pass where the orcs are?
Oh, Wyvern Tor.
Oh, I thought pass. My bad.
Nope, no worries. I have to find it now. Wyvern Tor.
What is that last word?
Tor.
Okay.
All these
I kept hearing Gore.
Sorry.
Wyvern
No?
Gore.
Which, honestly, it was quite interesting to me.
I want to know how many names I've written down that I've correctly spelled, because I doubt it's like any.
0.
Let me see.
Only the ones he spelled out, and even only half of those.
Yeah.
I have to wait now for this new map to load for me so I can see it with my eyeballs. Okay. She will tell you that it is to the northeast corner of the... Yeah, we'll just move you over here so you can see it. Boink. It's the northeast corner. Can you all see it? Of the Sword Mountains, sort of in this region.
It's like...
It's a crag of a sort. And she'll tell you that...
Not that far?
It's
It's only 0 miles.
It's a while. It would be probably a day's journey.
Dude, we can get up here in
Why
a day. 0 miles.
I'm gonna ask why why there's a warrant out for them.
I'm gonna ask why it's
Do what?
I want to ask why there's a whatever it was out for them. What was it? It was like a warrant, kind of. Can't remember. A reward for orcs. Near Warren store, Wyvern store.
Oh, she'll look at you, and sort of realize why you might be asking. So, and then she'll tell you that, in as nice a way as she can, that the orcs specifically that are living in Wyvern Tor have been going on sort of murderous rampages lately. A lot of looting and killing along the Tribor Trail, at least on the northeastern part of it.
Okay, cool. Have they reached all the way over to Phandalin?
She'll tell you not quite, but they are getting bolder by the day. And their last known attack was in sort of this region. They attacked a wagon load of supplies that made it past the Cragmaws. It was sort of well protected by folks like yourselves. It was trying to get to Conneberry there in the northeast. They killed everyone in the party. And stole all of the food and all of the gold.
Badass.
Cool. I'll nod and then I'll just walk off without even saying anything.
Okay.
Giving her the old papers treatment.
And you're outside. In the next episode, we will see what other people you can insult / enchant, and we'll start talking to people about these red brands.